How's it going, guys? Prosperity here. So in this video, me and a few friends were trying some mods out on the final boss in the Prophecy to see what sort of damage would be better this season. The mods that we were playing around with was Particle Deconstruction and also Focusing Lens. We also tried it with just Particle Deconstruction, and we also tried it with no mods whatsoever to see how big of a difference it really is. The way I'll be showcasing this video, I'll be showing when we start the damage phase on the boss, and I'll be showing the damage that we did to the boss, explaining which mods that we had on at the time, and just looking at the difference on the numbers. I also quickly want to mention what each mod does. So Particle Deconstruction, dealing damage to a combatant with a fusion rifle or a linear fusion rifle, grants bonus damage with a fusion rifle or linear fusion rifle against that combatant for a short duration. So if you're using a fusion rifle like 1000 Voices or Null Composure, when you do damage to the boss, when you shoot your second shot, you will then have an increased damage buff. And if you keep on firing at it, the damage buff will go up and the damage will increase. So if you're actually using 1000 Voices, I believe that because it fires more than one shot at a time, it does all 5 stacks in the one shot. So every time you do a shot afterwards, it'll just be the same damage over and over again until you run out of ammo or the damage phase ends. So Focusing Lens is the next mod I want to talk about. Basically, your light abilities do bonus damage to combatants affected by stasis. An easy way to explain this: any class was to use a grenade such as Duskfield grenades, and they threw a Duskfield grenade on the boss, and the boss was then starting to get affected by stasis. Any light damage would then give bonus damage to the boss. Basically, any light subclass, any ability or any super that you use on the boss will deal extra damage, which procs Focusing Lens. The ideal way to actually use this though is to sit in someone else as well. It actually classes as light ability damage if you're shooting an enemy while stood in someone's well. Like for example, if you're stood in someone's well and you're using something like 1000 Voices, this actually classes as light ability damage. And by doing so, actually procs Focusing Lens. This first section will be showcasing what the damage was like when we just used Particle Deconstruction. I would like to quickly mention also that when we were doing damage to the boss, every single time we did it, we were in a well, so just keep that in mind. So when we were doing damage with Particle Deconstruction only, 1000 Voices was generally just doing between 11 and 12,000 damage each time, which actually was pretty good. And you will also see what I mean when you compare it to having 0 mods on whatsoever. The damage difference is significant. On this next section, I will be showing you what it's like when I'm using Focusing Lens and Particle Deconstruction at both the same time. The damage numbers is definitely much more noticeable, and the damage it does is significantly higher. This is by affecting the boss with stasis before we actually use our 1k Voices in the well. So in this clip, you see that most of the damage is actually over 14,000 per shot, and even one of the shots right there was 17,000, I believe. But as you can see, if you're using both Focusing Lens and Particle Deconstruction while you're trying to maximize your DPS, then this is definitely the way to go about doing it. If you also look at the boss's health at the bottom, the health of the boss is just getting absolutely shredded by this. So I would definitely 100% suggest that you try it out. And on this little next section, which I'm just going to show just for the fun of it, we're trying it without any mods whatsoever, and the difference is pretty crazy. As you can see in this clip, pretty much the highest DPS it's really getting to is around 8,500 damage, which is considerably lower than the last two I showed, especially the last one, which was hitting on average around 14,000 damage. So if you guys want to make sure you have the max DPS when doing content on this game, such as the bosses and dungeons and raids, I would definitely suggest that you guys check out these two mods if you have not already. If there's any videos moving forward that you guys would like to see me make, then just leave it in the comments below and I'll definitely have to check it out. If you guys want to see any videos of me testing weapons against raid bosses or dungeon bosses, then just let me know also, and these are things I would definitely be up for trying. But thank you very much guys for checking out the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it helps you somewhat as well. So have a good one guys, and see you next time. This is just being disrespectful now. You. Get the f off the pitch, man. Down there. Go on. Down there.